So hello everyone, I hope you are doing fine. In last lecture we have discussed what is power electronics converter and what is the usefulness of that. So as I told you that we will start from DC to DC converter and then we will move to DC to AC converter, also known as inverter. Before going to main content DC-DC converter, we want to set up some rules, right? Some postulates. So the very first one is we will treat all the semiconductor devices as a switch. Ideal switch. So what does it mean? That if suppose IGBT is there, so this is gate terminal, this is C and this is E. So when we will apply any signal over there at gate terminal, so this is control signal, one minute. Control signal, and then this will be on or off. Ideally there will be we will assume that there is no voltage across switch, in on condition, and there is no current, through switch, in off condition. So it is behaving like a just like mechanical switch you use in daily life. On you press on, release, off, and there will be no power loss. So if you see the VI characteristics, one minute, my pen is somewhat lagging. So VI off switch. If you draw the line like and here you are giving the control signal Vc at this point. Then it is 0 and here it was 0. Then when this is in off condition, there will be voltage across the switch. When it will be on, this voltage is going to be 0, and again when this current device is going to be off, voltage across switch is there. In the same way, if you see the current, so when signal is not there, current is 0, then it will build up and it is 0. So, if you see, there are two switching conditions. This is condition position 1 and this is position 2. At position 1 it is turning on, and at position 2 it is turning off. If you see, ideal turn on time is 0, so and turn off time is also 0, and second thing, the power loss at the switching positions is 0. Is equal to 0. So, this is what ideal switch is going to be, and there is no turn on losses also. Also 0. So, this is how we are going to treat switch. So, whenever gate signal will be there, we will say that control signal is given, switch is on. Whenever control signal is removed, switch is off. There is no loss during switching process and during conduction process, and there is no time taken in turn on process and there is no time taken in turn off process. There is no voltage across the switch in conduction time, and there is no current through the switch in turn off time. So, this is first you have to remember it. Second thing, all the converters are made up of, we will see in later, switch, L and C, the combination is there. So, we need to understand little bit inductor also. I know that you have studied in previous courses during our first year and second year of BTech. So, we will revise that inductor is denoted as L, and it is defined as d lambda upon di, where lambda is flux linkage. Flux linkage. You know from basic principle of magnetism, Biot-Savart law is there, right? That current carrying conductor creates its own magnetic field. So, from that you can see that this phi is proportional to I. So, if phi is proportional to I, then flux linkage, which is n phi, which is nothing but lambda, is also proportional to I. So, if you plot the curve between lambda versus I, lambda versus I, you will find it in this way. After some point. So, after before some specified value of current, this line is linear, and after that it becomes non-linear. And this point, I mean this non-linear region is known as saturation region. So, if you see before saturation, then lambda is proportional to I. Before saturation region, it is just a straight line. So, lambda is proportional to I, and lambda is given as lambda is equal to Li. So, L is nothing but the slope of this line. This is m is equal to tan theta. So, this m is nothing but L. You can clearly see from this diagram drawn that after a certain value of current, this curve is going to be non-linear. Definitely we can see that this slope is going to be less. It means the value of inductor will be reduced, I mean reduced after saturation. So, whenever you purchase any inductor and he is saying that this inductor is having value of 5 millihenry, then definitely that value is specified for a particular current, because after that its value is 5 millihenry until it is not getting saturated. So, after saturation, this value, what will be the that value, you cannot decide. So, whenever we will deal with inductor, we will assume that there is no saturation, right. So, what we will assume, that there is no saturation. There is no saturation. When it comes to DC-DC converter, you will see in any topology that inductor L is charging for some time with voltage, suppose V1, and V1 is pure DC, I am assuming, and it is charging for some time T1, and then inductor is getting discharged also by applying a negative voltage across inductor. So, you change the polarity, and the voltage by which it is getting discharged is V2, and for time it is getting discharged for, that is T2. And if this operation is in saturation, it means when inductor is getting charged, suppose it is starting from point A and it is reaching to point B, and if this cycle is going on, charging, discharging, charging, discharging, and there is no saturation, then definitely when it will be starting, suppose this is starting from point A, it is reaching to point B, and then again it will come to point A. If this voltage, positive voltage or negative voltage, is applied for a quite long time, definitely inductor will be saturated there, because the flux is going to be function of T, right, and you know that there is a certain value of flux which can any inductor can carry before saturation. So, since it is the function of time, and how it is function of time, from Faraday law if you see, then VL is equal to L di by dt or d lambda by dt. So, this lambda is equal to integration of VL dt. So, if suppose voltage across inductor is V1 for a quite long time, then this function is going to be VLT. So, in this way it will be saturated. So, in DC-DC converter this is not the condition, it will be charge, discharge, charge, discharge. So, in this condition, if we are saying that there is no saturation, it means starting point and ending point is going to be same. So, if you see from the basic formula, d lambda is equal to VL dt, and if you integrate over one cycle 0 to t, d lambda is equal to 0 to 1 minute 0 to t VL dt. This change is going to be 0 because there is no saturation. So, it will start from one point and it will come back to that point. So, this net change in the flux is going to be 0. So, from this condition if you see, so and this voltage across inductor is changing with the time. For T1 time voltage across inductor is V1, and suppose it is plus V1. So, in the next time T2 it is going to be minus V2. So, if you put this value, so you divide this whole time t into two parts, 0 to T1, it is V1 dt and plus T1 to capital T minus V2 dt. And this what is this T? Capital T. Capital T is going to be T1 plus T2 is equal to capital T, and this value is going to be 0. So, since V1 and V2 are constant values, so V1 or if you solve this integration, so it is going to be V1 T1 minus V2 T2 is equal to 0. It means V1 T1 is equals to V2 T2. So, this is known as voltage time criteria. So, if inductor is there and some voltage is applied like V1 for T1 and in discharging time V2 for T2, then if inductor is not in saturation, then this value is going to be V1 T1 is equal to V2 T2. In the same way, if you see the capacitor, so if we assume that capacitor is in steady state condition, this capacitor, it is in steady state condition, then it means that if you talk about DC-DC converter, capacitor will be charging, discharging, charging, discharging. So in that way, over a time period t, the net change in voltage dVc is going to be 0, same like inductor. So from there, if you see that I is equal to C dVc by dt, so dVc is equal to 1 upon C I dt, and if you take the integration over time period t on and off in the same way as inductor, so this dVc is going to be 1 upon C integration over I dt, and this is going to be 0. So from this point, again the area under curve I versus t over time t is equal to 0. So this it gives rise to current time criteria. Current time criteria. Right? Yeah, I. So inductor will give rise, voltage time criteria is there in case of inductor, and current time criteria is there for capacitor. All these formulas are valid in steady state condition. Then steady state means it is charging, and from up to one point it is discharging. So when suppose it is starting from point A, it will go to point B, and again from point B it will come to point A over a time period t, right. If you see why where this inductor and capacitors are used, so suppose this is inductor and this is capacitor. If you see the basic mathematical expression, that suppose this is voltage across inductor and this is current through the inductor IL, and here voltage across capacitor and current through the capacitor IC. So this VL is given as L di by dt, and here capacitor is given as IC is equal to C dVc by dt. So if you see in the reaction of inductor is there in terms of voltage, and reaction of capacitor is there in terms of current, right. So when it will be there, inductor is saying until unless current through me is 0, not changing, it's constant, until unless this current passing through the inductor is constant, this VL is going to be 0. So if it is this IL is like this, in this condition VL is going to be 0. 1 minute. VL is going to be 0. It means inductor is doing nothing, it is just behaving as a short circuit, as if it is not present in the circuit. So it will be behaving as a short circuited. But remember, when the current through the inductor is constant, when it is varying with the time, then VL will be there, and it will oppose the that supply. So reaction will come out in the opposition of against this rate of change of current. So whenever you want that I want to smoothen the current, ripple should not be there, I want to reduce the ripple, someone should be there to oppose this rate of change of current, then we place inductor in the circuit. So whenever you will like to smooth the current, inductor is the best option for you, right? In the same way, whenever you want to smoothen the voltage, then capacitor will be your choice. So in DC-DC converter, you want a proper DC output, right? There should be no ripple. What is ripple, we will discuss in coming lectures. So whenever we want to fix the voltage, it should not vary, or if it is varying, it should be in a particular band, then capacitor will be used. So inductor and capacitor are integral part of DC-DC converter. So I hope this voltage time criteria, current time criteria, ideal switch, it is clear for you. So whenever I will, in the coming lectures, whenever I will say that switch is on, signal is given, switch is on, so you just need to put the IGBT or MOSFET or BJT as a just short circuit. Whenever signal is removed, it just as a behave as a open circuit. There is no power loss until and unless it is specified. Otherwise, normally we treat all these things as a ideal devices. So now we are ready to start with the very first type of DC-DC converter. So, and in the next lectures, we will be analyzing the circuit. Before I finish this lecture, I want to discuss something, just mathematical expression. Suppose constant voltage is given across this V and polarity here plus here minus, and for infinite time 0 to t, and t is going to infinite, and here is plus, here is minus. So if you see the expression that VL is equal to L di by dt or d lambda by dt, so this di is going to be 1 upon L integration, you put integration in this side also, VL dt, and VL is going to be V, which is constant. So this and if you see from 0 it has started and it is reaching by some current I, and is starting at t is equal to 0 to some t. So if you see, then I is equal to 1 upon L, this is V t. So I is equal to V upon L and t. So if you plot the this curve, you will see that if voltage is there like this, then current is going to be like this. And this slope of this line is going to be, this is I, this is I, and this is V, VL and IL, and this slope of this line is going to be V upon L. In the same way, you can try for capacitor also. It's your homework whenever you see this lecture. Second thing, it is not necessary that current will start from 0 only. It might be possible that capacitor is initially charged. So since inductor is charged initially, and since inductor stores energy in the form of current, so they will give like that before t is equal to 0, the inductor was IL is equal to some 2 ampere, 2 milliampere, and some value I naught, right. So you will put I naught at this place of 0 or some specified value, because current is not started from 0, it is started from some initial condition. So this is all. We are ready to move further. Thank you very much.